The Times report that Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox have recommended that Michael Carrick be given the Manchester United job on a permanent basis. Are you okay with this, Gab? Is this part of the process or no?
Recommended to what, Ratcliffe and the Glazers?
You think so, yeah?
Okay, so if this is part of your process, if you've gone and interviewed candidates and interviewed Carrick, fine, because you had a process.
Yeah.
I don't know that they had a process. I don't know who they interviewed, what they managed to secretly interview. I mean, people like Iraola, people like Glasner, they still have day jobs. I don't know that they managed to secretly go and talk to them. I don't know who they talked to.
Yeah.
But if you guys did, that's fine. But if you're just bowing to pressure, you're like, oh, Carrick got the job then, because I'll tell you what, not a knock on Carrick, but next season is going to be completely different. They're going to be in Europe. They're going to have to add probably a couple midfielders. They're going to add a bunch of players. It's going to be a very different context. It's going to be untested. It doesn't mean Carrick can't do it, but he has to convince you through the interview process, and you have to convince yourself after talking to other people as well. That's how you had the Solskjaer problem to begin with.
Yeah.
So I'd be very disappointed if that was the case. It's Matistel for better and for worse for Tottenham as he scores and then concedes a silly penalty, and they draw 1-1 at home to Leeds. Jules, this means they still need to sweat on staying up.
Yeah, you're right. There's just 2 points clear now with a better goal difference, but still it's not done. Whereas if they had beaten Leeds, which I think a lot of people expected, including their own fans, it would have been a much easier run. Now they will go to Chelsea on Tuesday night, and Chelsea are not going to give Spurs anything at all.
Chelsea would just so love it if Spurs went down.
Bring them down, of course. I mean, West Ham have to go to Newcastle, which is obviously not an easy game away either. And then it could all go down, be to the last game of the season, with West Ham at home to Leeds and Spurs away at Everton. So it'd be super
Spurs
interesting.
are at home to Everton.
Sorry, Spurs are home to Everton. Sorry, no away. We'll see. I thought Spurs were good now after the 2 wins in a row against Wolves and Villa, especially away from home, both of them. And now I'm not so sure. I don't think that was a really good performance against Leeds at all. They should have lost that game, actually.
And Matistel, Paris born and bred, yeah.
Paris born and bred. Great goal, and then, gave away a penalty despite actually scanning and taking the information first. I'm not sure why he did that. Gab, you were away on Monday, but West Ham will be just a point back, if not for that madness at the end of their game with Arsenal on Sunday afternoon. The PGMOL has explained the rationale behind disallowing Callum Wilson's goal at in the last kick of the game, pretty much. I know how much you like wrestling on set pieces, so I assume you agree.
Yeah, no, 100% the goal should have been ruled out. It seems pretty obvious to me. And was there a whole bunch of other stuff going on? Yeah, there was. I really appreciate Howard Webb. They released the full transcript. I think we can criticize referees all the time, right? But when they have the show of transparency, this is how we arrive. This is our process. All they can do is put a process in place. Weird stuff happens on the pitch. Humans make mistakes.
Yeah.
And they can say, this is the process. I thought they came to the right decision. I know it sucks if you're West Ham. But all of this stems from the fact that this kind of garbage gets tolerated all the time.
Yeah.
The wrestling, Declan Rice throwing the guy in his head and whatever. It's and part of it is because in the laws of the game, you cannot give a penalty off the ball, right? So I personally think give yellow cards. You're too handsy. Give you both the yellow card. Your hand should be there, right?
Yeah.
And then you'll see people will stop pretty quickly. And certainly the Times and others have reported that FIFA are going to look at this at the World Cup. I think we'll see less of it at the World Cup.
Of course, yeah.
But, a couple yellows early on will teach you that you don't need to do this. And, as far as Raya, I know there's some troglodyte out there so immediately reacting, oh, Raya needs to be stronger. Goalkeepers aren't a protected species anymore, which is one of the stupidest cliches and stereotypes, and it's old and tired, and nobody should ever say that again. But no, any normal person looking at this
I think
would say that, you're pulling his arm down.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, sticking with the title race, Ben White is reportedly out for the rest of the season, Jules. We thought Julien Timber was going to come back any day, and we said that for the last month. Now there's even a doubt about whether he can go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on Mosquera, who's not really a right back. He's really a center back. Any alternatives that we haven't thought of?
Yeah, you can bring Declan Rice like a right back. He would not really play right back, but you can have him there like Arteta did in that first half against West Ham, for example. And before changing, I guess maybe a Zubimendi type of player can play there. But Mosquera has done a quite decent job when he's played at right back earlier this season. He's a really good defender, centre back, but he's less comfortable on the ball. That's the issue here in the way Arsenal build up and all of that. And that's why I think you need Odegaard with Mosquera at right back. You need Odegaard on that kind of side more maybe than Eze in a more central role. So we see what Arteta does against Burnley on Monday night. But it is a big blow to lose White and Timber at this stage of the season. I guess the last really solution you could have is move, if Calafiori is fit, moving Capia right back, although he's left-footed and it's not ideal again, especially with the ball more than defensively. But you'll have options. They're not the best of options, but I think Mosquera can do a good job for 2 games plus the final.
I agree. The alternative is seeing Capia as right back. He hasn't done that very often. It's suboptimal, but effectively you're talking 3 center backs plus Calafiori or Lewis Scally, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. You can make that tweak.
Yeah, definitely. The Times report that Arsenal are charging more than £130,000 for a luxury box at the home game against Burnley on Monday night when they can't win the title. But
at the time they advertised it, the idea was they could potentially win.
Yeah. But we get close to it for the first title in 22 years. Gab, does this sound a bit greedy to you?
No, not at all. And I broke this down. And this really bugs me. And I think we have a problem with ticket prices and numbers, right? Yeah. Oh, it's a big number, 100,000, a million. Oh, it's all the same because it's a big number. I don't understand it. So I looked at this. I looked at what you get for this. Now, I would not pay this, but it's 15 seats, right? So you can bring 15 of your friends, which instantly knocks this down to what, like $8,000 a person, right? Then you get a replica home shirt. Then you get to meet with an Arsenal legend. I don't know if it's one of the good ones or, you get Martin Sheeran around, but whatever, you get a 3-course meal. Again, 3-course meal at that level, London, it's going to be £150, something like that, right? Then you get sliders at halftime. Then you get a cheese course at the end. I mean, there's a value on this. I much prefer a football club say, let me put a package like this together for people who can't afford it, and let me use this to cross-subsidize the average fan and the average seat. So Burnley returned more than 1,000 tickets reportedly for this game, understandably.
Yeah.
Arsenal could have put those on sale for £1,000 if they were like FIFA. Look, dynamic pricing. No, they're on general sale for £45, which I think is in line with the cheaper Arsenal seats, right?
C, yeah.
So I think the model is fine. I mean, screw it. If you can find people who'll pay you even more than $130,000 for this 15-person box, go for it. Yeah. Those aren't the fans that I worry about. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not taking places away from that.
Yeah.
So I had to go on a rant because this just kind of stupid ass populism, just so misguided. These are not the problems of flicking football.